Hey everybody, RetroPie guy here. Today I'm going to do a brief demo and review of this LED Arcade Trackball that I picked up off of Amazon. This is by far the best trackball that I've come into contact with so far. I fully tested this out on my Raspberry Pi 4 running RetroPie and it works super well. I'm going to do some gameplay demos here following this portion of the video just to show you exactly how well this works, but I will mention there's no buttons or functions to really get into here. It is purely just the LED trackball here. Once you plug this into your Raspberry Pi, this will light up a really nice color. I'm not sure if all the colors are the same out there. This particular one is a really nice neon sort of green. Really like the way that it looks, but you will need this adapter here in order to run this with RetroPie because the connection here is not the right connection, obviously, to tie into a USB port. So we need to convert it over to USB. That's exactly what this adapter does. This is just your standard mouse and keyboard adapter. I'll put a link in the description below today for both the trackball as well as this adapter. It's only a few dollars, definitely worth buying because you're not going to get it working without it. So one thing I want to mention prior to getting started here is the connection on here. Inside the actual trackball connection, there's a bunch of different prongs. They're super flexible and you don't want to risk bending them. So you can see here, both of these connections are exactly the same. So this one I'm obviously not utilizing. You can see in here a bunch of different prong holes that connect right over to this connection here. So definitely want to line them up perfectly. You don't want to put them in there and start twisting and just hoping that they fall into place eventually because you will end up bending all those prongs inside. So definitely take your time. You'll notice that there is a large kind of rectangular connection in there. If you line up that rectangular connection, you're good to go. Just slide it in there, it'll click right into place and you'll be off to the races. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna plug this into my Raspberry Pi 4. We're going to demo a couple of games and we'll jump back out and we'll talk a little bit more about this particular LED Arcade Trackball.
Golf for one, trying for bogey. Golf for one, trying for double bogey. Golf for one, on tee. A good firm tee shot. Golf for one, trying for birdie. Golf for one, trying for par.
All right, so you see from those gameplay demos here that this particular LED Arcade Trackball works phenomenally well on Raspberry Pi running RetroPie. So you're able to get into all those classic trackball games that you grew up playing in the arcade. It's super easy to set up. We actually have a step-by-step tutorial on how to set this trackball up with your Raspberry Pi running RetroPie. So if you need to figure out how to do that, jump down to the description below. We'll put a direct link in there to jump you over to that tutorial. It'll have this up and running on your Raspberry Pi running RetroPie in just a few short minutes. So everything about this is just super amazing. I'm pleased with the quality here. It is definitely the highest quality trackball that I've seen so far. The accuracy, precision, and overall sensitivity of the trackball itself is top notch. Again, have not seen anything come close to touching the performance of this particular trackball. I even love the way that the LED light in here lights everything up. In my opinion, that just brings everything to life here. So again, just top quality across the board with this trackball. You do need to have, as I said before, this particular adapter here, which converts the connection over to USB so you can plug it directly into your Raspberry Pi. So I did mention that before, mentioning it again, just to be super clear. I don't want anybody to go out, pick this up, take it out of the box and realize that they don't have the proper connection to hook this up with a Raspberry Pi. So again, you'll find that information in the tutorial video. We'll also provide a link in the description below, both for the trackball itself, as well as for that adapter cable. So another really cool thing about this particular trackball is it comes with your mounting screws, so you can mount this to your arcade cabinet if that's the route you're going to be taking. Unfortunately, my arcade cabinet here just doesn't have enough space on the control board to accommodate this, so I'm not going to be going that route, though I might end up doing that in the future with a different build. Now that I've jumped into these trackball games and remembering how amazing they are, and I definitely want to eventually accommodate this into an arcade build. So you don't have to do that though. I'm not doing that as of right now. There's enough leeway on this cable so you can actually connect this to your Raspberry Pi. You can play both at a desk like I have in this room here, or you can play in a living room. You know, just plug this in, let all the slack out of the cable there. You can just hold it in one hand, use the trackball with the other, or you can put it on a desktop here. It's got a nice surface on the bottom, some little areas here where it kind of has some feet. You can see from that angle it comes down, so it does sit on a desktop really nicely, and you can obviously just steady it with one hand and hit that trackball with the other. A bunch of different ways you can configure this and utilize it, which I like about this. You know, you aren't limited to just installing this into an actual arcade cabinet here. You can use it, you know, either of those other options too. So I just love everything about this. I think it's just top notch across the board, and I highly recommend it to anybody looking to get into trackball games. And in all honesty, the actual process for setting this up with Raspberry Pi is super simple. I know a lot of people have had issues over the years. I think that if you follow our tutorial video, you're going to be jumping into these games in just a matter of minutes. So it definitely simplifies everything. I think you're definitely going to find that this is just as easy to set up as any other Gamepad controller out there with the Raspberry Pi running RetroPie. So that's going to do it for today. Again, link in the description below if you want to pick up this particular trackball, as well as that adapter cable if you are going to be utilizing this with the Raspberry Pi. So that's going to do it for today. Be sure to hit the like button if you found this video helpful and you enjoyed it. Also, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do a whole bunch of different videos based around retro gaming. We do product reviews like this one, tutorials, gameplay demos, just a little bit of everything based around retro gaming. And of course, check us out online on our website, www.retropieguy.com. Thanks for watching.